Hola amigos and buenas tardes. Have I got a treat for you today? I found this restaurant here in my local neighborhood that does fish and chips, but it's not British fish and chips, it's not Australian fish and chips, it is Spanish fish and chips. Pescadito frito con patatas, and I reckon it's going to be a good quality fish and chips. So let's go and try it out. Gracias. Now I'm sitting outside today, as you can see, for two reasons mainly. Firstly is because it's not a bad day. It's around 13 degrees Celsius, so sitting outside can be done with a jumper on, of course. And the second reason is that inside it's a little bit noisy with music in the background, and I don't want to infringe on any YouTube copyright. However, there's a guy over here cutting the lawn, so that could be a bit of an issue as far as noise is concerned. Now I've ordered a couple of things off the menu, fish and chips of course, which is the standout for me today, and also another thing which is called Caso, which is like an anchovy and a whitebait special, so I'm looking forward to that too. Now they've given me some olives as an aperitif today. Also this thing here, I suppose if you have bread. I haven't ordered bread, and I've also gone for water today because I have to drive. Now we'll have a look at the menu. Let me open it up here, so I'll show you guys exactly what we have got. Muchas gracias. And as you can see, it is a fairly extensive menu. They also have a breakfast menu as well, so I might come back and try a breakfast special soon. But looking at the menu, this is what I've ordered, this one thing here called coca casamiento. There's a picture of it here. So we'll see if the picture resembles what they bring out to me, which has already arrived. So we'll compare the picture with what I have on this plate here. Now I'll go through the prices at the end of the meal, and I'll show you guys what you're paying for fish and chips and this casamiento or matrimonio here. But we'll also have a look at the fish and chips, the picture of the fish and chips, and we'll see if it resembles what eventually comes out. Let's have a look. So the picture here we can see, so this is called, if I'm not mistaken, fish and chips de merluza de pincho, which means that it's been caught with a hand line, I believe. Also comes with an aioli sauce. There's the picture again for us there. So we'll see, as I said, if what comes out resembles the picture. Now, the first thing has arrived. Let's put this on the plate, if I can. This is the casamiento. And as we can see on top, we have this guindilla, we have an anchovy, and we also have whitebait, and I think some type of salmorejo maybe underneath. But I'll try that in just a moment. So let's dig into this casamiento, which basically is a piece of bread with these two pieces of fish on top. And also this thing here, which is like a type of chili that's been in vinegar, a green chili. A little bit spicy, but not too bad. And I'm sure it complements the two pieces of fish that we have on here. And also with this tomato sauce, if you like, on top. Let's try. So the reason why this is called casamiento, or in other places matrimonio, is because these two fish go together perfectly. That's the idea. You've got the salt of the anchovy, and although this fish here, the whitebait, is salty, it's not as salty as the anchovy, if that makes sense. And when you put them both together, you have an explosion in your mouth. Amazing. Now one thing you'll notice is that I've got three people behind me. They're making a lot of noise. So restaurants in this country can be noisy, but I'll try not to let them put me off enjoying my meal today. Let's dig in for some more of this, because the combination of the bread with this sauce on top, this salmorejo, whatever it is, the anchovy, the whitebait, unbelievable. The perfect combination, the perfect marriage, if you like, of foods. And if you see this on a menu in Spain and you like this type of food, definitely you should order it. The vinegar, the guindilla, those chilies on top, perfect combination. I would definitely recommend that to anybody who's coming here or anyone else who sees that on a menu here in Spain. Order it, as I said. Now, let's wait for the fish and chips. I'm really looking forward to it, primarily because I haven't had fish and chips for years, or at least British Australian fish and chips, that is. Spanish fish and chips I have had, but this looks to be particularly good, especially if it lives up to what I saw in the photo. Here it comes.
Fish and chips.
Sí. Oh, la voy a comer aquí, gracias. All right, now, Spanish style fish and chips. Now, if you're looking for British style fish and chips, you're going to be disappointed because it's not that. It's not Australian style fish and chips either, because as you know, in Australia or in England, you normally get one piece of fish, a big piece of fish, with your chips, of course, and you get tartare sauce or something like that. Here we have aioli, and as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's say 10 pieces of fish. Now the first thing I'm going to do is compare it to the picture that we saw before, and I reckon that's fairly similar if we have a look at what's on the screen and what I have on my plate. So they've done a good job there. Now the first thing I'm going to try is one of these chips. Let's see how they're cooked. Crunchy, perfectly seasoned, can't go wrong with these chips. Some people have been saying in recent times, why isn't there salt and pepper on the table here in Spain? Well, the reason is that these chips are perfectly salted. You don't need to add any more. We've also got some lemon here, which I'm not going to put on just now because I want to try this fish. Now, the fish, is it crispy? Yes. Could it be crispier? Of course. Let's dig in. Let's see what we've got. Now, look at this fish that we have inside here. Hake. Steaming away inside the batter. So it's going to be hot. Let's try it. Wow. It's soft. The batter is crispy. It's perfectly cooked. It's not greasy. It's not as greasy as some of the fish and chips that you'd eat in Australia, for example, which can give you a stomach complaint a couple of hours later. That is not the case at all. It's been fried almost perfectly. I'm going to dig in again. And the hake, that is good quality fish. And the batter is light. It's flavoursome, it's light, and as I said, most importantly, it's not oily. Another chip. I'm reluctant to add lemon to all of the fish, so I'm just going to put a little bit of lemon on this one here to see if it makes any difference. Let's dig in again. So personally, I wouldn't put lemon on this. I think it's got enough flavour without the lemon. But of course, if you like to put lemon on your fish and chips, go for your life. If you want to put vinegar on your fish and chips, go for your life. But this particular fish and chips doesn't need it. Wow. What about the aioli? Let me get a little bit more. The thing about this fish is they're very small pieces. It's not one of these big, huge pieces of cod or haddock or whatever the type of fish you would have. This is a hake merluza, as we call it here in Spain. And with the aioli, or alioli, as they call it here, that's a good combination. Another chip. My experience with fish and chip over the years, probably the same as most of you guys that have had fish and chips fairly regularly over your life. Back in Australia, it was a weekly event, a fortnightly event. And one of the things, or one of the memories I have about those chips is that they were usually soggy. But these chips are crispy, flavoursome, and perfectly accompany this fish. Could this be the perfect fish and chips? I don't know, but it's right up there. I'm going to try and show you just how thin that batter is. Thin and crispy, if you can see it there. And the fish inside, again, perfectly cooked. Very, very fresh. This is definitely a winner. Now, over the years, I've had conversations with Spanish people that have criticised the British or Australian style fish and chips, saying that it's rubbish, it's too greasy, it's a terrible meal. How can people eat that? Especially when you compare it with the Spanish version of fish and chips, pescadito frito con patatas. And I'm going to say that after eating something like this, it would be hard to go to a fish and chip shop in Australia or in the UK and order what they have on the menu, because this is outstanding. In fact, even after sitting on the plate for 5 minutes, the batter's still crispy. Amazing. And as I said earlier, or at least I think I said earlier, this is quite common in the south of Spain, in the Cádiz, Huelva, Malaga, Almería. This pescadito frito, this fried fish, pescadito, because it's small pieces of fish. Not the big ones, the small pieces of fish, very well fried, and a specialty from that part of Spain. And I will say also that this is fairly good value for the price. I'll tell you guys exactly how much this meal costs at the end of the video, of course, when I give my review, my score out of 5, my score out of 10. I'm going to say right up front that this is going to be a high score today. And the amount that you get on your plate for the price, I reckon, is reasonable. Considering what some people are paying for fish and chips in Australia nowadays, a lot more than I'm paying for this. So I reckon I'm on a winner, and a decent priced meal too. Can't go wrong. Now I'm going to try and finish this and decide whether or not I'm going to have dessert. At this moment, I don't think that I will order dessert because I'm pretty full. This, as I said, is a fairly hearty meal, a big meal, and I don't know whether I'm going to be able to fit dessert in, but maybe. Stay tuned. The smokers have gone back inside. That's a relief. Now, the last piece. Let's see if I can squeeze it in. Even if I didn't have room, I would make room for that fish. It's unbelievably good. But the chips, no. Done and dusted, I am. Dessert, why not? Let's see what they've got. So I'm fairly full, so looking for something small on the menu, and there's an empanadilla rellena de chocolate y plátano. By the unit you pay. Let's have a look at the photo. I reckon that is what I'm going to order for dessert today, just to finish off this meal with something sweet. But just to show you how greaseless this fish and chips was, you can see here a little bit of grease on the paper, but nothing like I've seen before with my previous fish and chips experience. ¿Qué tal? ¿Me traes un postre la empanadilla de chocolate? Una empanadilla. Gracias. Okay, so the dessert has arrived. Let's see if it lives up to the same quality as the other stuff that I have eaten today. Let's get a closer look. So this is an empanadilla, or a little pie, savory pie, but also with chocolate and banana in the middle, as we can see here. The chocolate oozing out of there and little pieces of banana. So I reckon that this is going to be savory with the sweetness in the middle, a fantastic combination. Let's see. Now I'm going to break it up into smaller pieces. So I'll get this one in my hand if I can. It's a little bit messy. So I thought this would be savory, but it's sweet. Obviously it makes sense. And with the chocolate and the banana, the combination, the icing sugar on top, wowee. Let me get some of this chocolate and banana. The chocolate is rich. It's smooth. The banana and chocolate, when they go together, wowee. And with this empanadilla, or pie if you like, it's beautiful. Actually, it's not that sweet. It's more savory than sweet. But the chocolate is so sweet that you would think that this is also sweet, if that makes sense. I've never had one of these before, but I'll definitely be having one again. Look at that chocolate dripping out of there. Wowee. If you've got a sweet tooth like I have, at the end of every meal, something sweet is the perfect way to finish off. And this is a wonderful dessert. I'm going to try and scoop up all of this chocolate because it's delightful. Wowee. Now that was a good meal. Time to get the bill and my final thoughts. So the bill has arrived. I'll show you the price in just a moment. They've also thrown in this little chupito, this little shot of Bailey's. So fantastic there. And the total price is 24 euros and 70 cents, as you can see there. The breakdown, the water, 2 euros and 50 cents. The coca casamiento, the first thing that I had, which was that piece of toast with the white bait and the anchovy on it, 4 euros and 80 cents. Fish and chips, the merluza, the pincho, so the line caught hake, 14 euros and 50 cents. And the final thing that I had, the dessert, empanadilla rellena de chocolate y plátano, 2 euros 90, 24 euros and 70 cents. Value for money? Let me know what you think in that comment section below. But I'm going to say that this has been one of the best fish and chip meals that I have ever had. And believe me, I've had a few fish and chip meals over the journey. Better than the fish and chips I've had in Australia, better than the fish and chips I've had in the UK, simply because the fish was fresh, it was well cooked, the chips were crispy and not soggy, and also the fish wasn't oily. Because in my experience, oily fish and chips is not a pleasant meal and can lead to stomach problems. But that is not the case with this fish and chips at this restaurant here on the outskirts of Madrid, Maroma. So if you're in the area, do yourself a favor, stop here, have authentic Spanish fish and chips, pescadito frito con patatas. You won't be disappointed. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you consider yourself to be a fish and chips expert and you've had fish and chips here in Spain, pescadito, and you've had fish and chips back home in the UK or Australia, let me know if you can compare the two. Which is better, the British version, the Australian version, or the Spanish version, which I reckon is by far the best fish and chips that I have had. But it's my opinion, of course. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego from the outskirts of Madrid.